and acting for the fifth side. Josiah John on the cast, you know that kicks fly. Beast mode, I'm the one you see, forever.
The Rocket Man Josiah John is here, and he is celebrating 2 years as a professional wrestler here tonight, Brad.
Well, he's going to be celebrating that, but he's going to be celebrating against Danny Limelight, and Poppy is coming to take care of the Rocket.
Come on, watch me do my dance. Life is so good, what you say. Some hard times, but my new plan is to get this money by shorty looking out.
Danny Limelight making his return here to Reality of Wrestling in action against Josiah John. But just a few weeks ago, we saw Danny say, Josiah, join me and we can take over the road. And when Josiah said no, Danny took that very personally, CT.
I spoke with Josiah earlier. He picked him up from the airport and said the whole time Danny talked about himself because he had just started, but now he's at his eye level and he's ready to take off.
I believe he called him something inappropriate.
As is tradition for Danny.
He used a word that most people would say are fighting words. Wouldn't you say, Kirby?
Well, it's a good thing that we're about to ring that bell and we are about to start a fight here.
I thought this was a wrestling match.
It's still considered a fight, wouldn't you say? There's going to be exchange of strikes.
That's true.
An athletic contest, if you will, as we're seeing the first lockup here. You've got to imagine that Josiah has got to be thinking about his trajectory over the last 2 years. First starting as a rookie here at Reality of Wrestling and capturing the ovation here of the Row Nation for quite some time. Lots of people calling him the next breakout star of Reality of Wrestling.
That's a lot of pressure to hold on your shoulders. You know, with so much potential, you have to live up to it. You know, you can't, look, CT will agree with me on this. Hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard. And I'm not saying that Josiah hasn't worked hard, but you still got to do a lot to show improve.
That was quite the tongue twister, Brad.
He's good at those.
Crunchy like peanut butter.
You know, for Josiah, you're right. He does have a lot of weight on his shoulders, especially when he
Oh, beautiful there. Hold on.
First cover of the matchup, but a kick out from Danny.
That was really nice.
Especially if you call yourself the Rocket and you're based out of Houston, Texas. That's a lot of pressure. If you're going to use the name Rocket, you better lift off.
Well, you know, I'm going to use a reference here, CT, that you might be well versed in. Josiah John is completing his sophomore year here. Isn't there a Spurs player who is currently in his sophomore year kind of producing numbers for the Spurs?
Yeah, I mean, Victor Wembanyama is producing numbers, but the difference between Victor Wembanyama and Josiah John is that Wemby's not getting kicked in the stomach right now by Danny Limelight. Wemby doesn't have to...
Cover here from Danny. The shoulders are down from Josiah, but a kick out from Josiah. Oh! Danny Limelight showing that side of him that we know very well. Almost like a pit bull. Incredibly aggressive and antagonizing the Row Nation.
We've said this many times before, but the thing about Danny is he can talk crap and he can back it up.
Right now, Danny Limelight talking about his Hollywood acumen. He's been in a lot of films, a lot of television sets. Danny Limelight rubbing shoulders with the elites, the A-listers, right? You know what? That gives him a little bit of swagger. That gives him a little bit of confidence. That gives him a mental advantage.
I don't think it's giving him confidence. This man was born with confidence, Brad. I have never met a man that believes himself like Danny does, but he goes a little bit over it as right now he is trying to get a victory here, but a kick out from Josiah.
Look, what do they say? Confidence is key, right?
But overconfidence can kill careers, Brad. And that may be
curiosity can kill the cat. But we're not talking about cliches right now. We're talking about Danny Limelight putting the boots to Josiah John.
And he's definitely doing a good job at that thus far. But the match is still early as Danny Limelight seems to have found a target as into the cover here, but Josiah once again kicks out.
There's a difference between confidence and cocky. You guys keep talking about confidence. Danny Limelight is cocky. There's a difference.
That's the word I was looking for. She's got it for me. Oh, and again, I said that Danny Limelight seems to have found a target. It seems to be those ribs of Josiah John, but right now Josiah is firing up on Danny and turns him inside out with that clothesline.
Josiah's mad. If somebody can sit there and talk about himself for hours and hours in the car, that's somebody who's cocky. That's somebody who needs to be humbled just a little bit.
Seems like you got a bit of a horse in this race here,
Oh,
CT.
look at that.
As right there, you saw that maneuver from Josiah John. Could that get him the victory
Oh
here?
my gosh, 2.5.
Such a close call.
It's been a crazy week, though, this week on Reality Wrestling. I mean, Reese Maddox having that shocking win that we saw earlier tonight against Cam Cole. Could Josiah John beat a former Texas champion? And still in our main event, we got last man standing.
Is it the Texas champion, or would we call it the Empire State era? Because that wasn't one of my favorite eras. I can tell you that much.
Well, you know what? It's a good point.
Well, just like Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour is over. And now Danny Limelight from the top here. And look at that splash!
Little frog splash.
Cover!
One,
Danny Limelight
two.
has just won it all. No!
Little shades of the Texas wrestling legend and WWE Hall of Famer Eddie Guerrero.
Now you've got to imagine that frustration is starting to build in Danny Limelight. Maybe he may have underestimated.
Oh, wait a minute.
Wait a second. After that roll through, you saw the referee go down, and now we've got to cover 1, 2, 3. Josiah John just won this matchup, but there's no official to count it.
Thing about referees, man, they're always missing calls.
Well, he got kicked in the face. It wasn't like he missed it on purpose.
Should have done.
Josiah John just had a victory, but there was no official to count it, unfortunately. And now a low blow from Danny Limelight.
That's not
classic
right.
Danny Limelight.
Look, I like Danny. I like Josiah, I really do, but that was not right. You can't go low like that, man.
Is Danny grabbing something? He seems to be.
Well,
He's got a chair.
We talked about
gosh.
Danny Limelight feeling disrespected by Josiah John. So now it looks like Danny Limelight is going to disrespect Josiah with that chair.
Man.
Swing wildly and misses. And after that dropkick, you saw Danny Limelight fall right onto that chair. Wait a second. That's Rudy Garza. What's Rudy doing out here?
Rudy is saving Josiah from another chair shot.
That's good. That's good, as he should.
Wait.
Oh,
God. Rudy, what are you doing? You've got to be kidding me. Referee back in, counting it 2. Not like this.
What's going on here?
Just a few weeks ago, we saw Rudy return and say that he was going to make an example of Danny Limelight. And now, it seems that he's gone back on those words, CT. This is disgusting.
Yeah, this is snake-like behavior, and the crowd is booing Rudy Garza and Danny Limelight.
You know what? I kind of like him. I'm going to be honest with you. Danny Limelight fought ahead.
You just said that a low blow was low, but a chair shot is fine?
Danny didn't hit him with the chair. Look, Danny Limelight thought ahead. This is what he does. He is a mentalist, okay? He doesn't only execute inside the squared circle. What you do outside the ring is just as important. He had a strategy. If he got in trouble, he had a backup plan. That's what you do. Plan A don't work, you go to Plan B. Plan B don't work, you go back to Plan A. And Plan A was getting a win, and Danny Limelight did something that the Spurs can't seem to do this season and get a victory.
Well, it looks like the old Rudy is back, ladies and gentlemen.